Welcome to our final video from Independence of the Seas, where we have a sea day, a port day on board, then disembark in Southampton. We started our day late, with a light breakfast in Café Promenade. And from where we were sitting, could see down into Playmakers on the deck below. After breakfast, we went up to deck 12 for some morning sea air and sea views. All the hot tubs on the pool deck were full of people watching the Minecraft movie on the big screen. Looking over the rear of the ship, there was barely any wake. We were almost drifting along, evidently not in a hurry to reach our next port. We then went down to our favourite place on board, which was Playmakers, where we got a quick pre-lunch drink. Then headed up to Giovanni's table, where we had a reservation for lunch. Again, we'd booked this before the cruise for a very good price. We ordered some wine and looked through the menu, and there's a really decent choice available. A basket of bread was delivered to our table, along with oil, balsamic and cheese. Then our wines arrived, along with our sharing board starter of meats, cheeses and olives, which was very tasty and very filling. We managed to eat most of our starter. Then our mains arrived. We'd both ordered the filet mignon, which was served with mash, roasted garlic and broccoli, and was really tender and tasty. We both ordered dessert this time. I had the tiramisu, and Suze had chocolate hazelnut cake. This was an excellent lunch, and we think really good value. After lunch, we needed some exercise, so we took a walk around the prom deck. This isn't a full wraparound deck, but it's quite a big ship, so it's still a decent little walk. Back at our room, our steward had left us a towel rabbit, and we lazed around here for a while before heading out for the evening. We had a couple of drinks in Playmakers, watching a game on the TV. Then, as neither of us wanted a full dinner, after our big lunch, we went to Sorrento's for a couple of slices of pizza, which we really enjoyed. We wanted to see Greece, which was the main headline show on board. So we went through early to the Royal Theatre, where there were already queues building up. We joined one of these, and as soon as the doors opened, we easily found a seat, although the theatre soon filled up. The show was actually really good. Royal asked for no filming or photos during the performance, so we just took a quick snap during the encores at the end. Next day we were docked in Zeebrugge, the port town for Bruges. We had been here before, and the weather forecast was pretty bad, so we planned to spend the day on board the ship, hopefully while it was quiet. I went up on deck early and had a quick look around both sides of the port area. Then I went through to the gym. I had another decent workout. With some views over the port today. Then I took an elevator back down to the Royal Promenade, and into Cafe Promenade for a latte and another salmon cream cheese croissant, with a promenade view. After my early breakfast, I took a wander along the promenade, checking out some of the onboard shops, and some of the cool design features on board. Then I went back to our room, where Suze was awake now, and after a quick look at the grey morning out the window, we went up to the Windjammer Buffet Bar and ordered a couple of coffees. I found a seat while Suze got some food. Then I got myself some hash browns and sausages, and Suze had a similar selection with added black pudding. Then we found the pastry section, and each got a nice selection of fresh pastries and donuts. And they also have fruit, but that's not cruise food. We went out on deck, where it was kind of cold and damp. And I quickly filmed a couple of places that we'd not seen yet. The Sky Lounge and the pool bar. Then we took a look around the port. From memory, you take a port shuttle to the red building in the background, and when you return, you get security checked in these buildings on the dock. We then headed inside for a look at the library. This is a nice little area, with a few computers, some comfortable seating, and a couple of small racks of books that you can borrow to read on board. We both needed more caffeine, so we went to Cafe Promenade for a latte and an Americano, which we sat and enjoyed in a very busy coffee shop. Then, as it was now late morning, we got a beer in Playmakers and decided to have a game of pool. Not gonna lie, we were both pretty rusty. Suze can't remember when she last played, and I reckon it's at least 20 years since I did. But after a fair few mishaps, we eventually cleared the table, and I won a narrow victory, which we celebrated with another beer. We decided to go and pack, as it was the last day on board, which didn't take too long. And while there, we changed into swimwear and headed up to the solarium, where we had a soak in the hot tub, which was really nice. And I had a quick dip in the pool, although the cold wind up here makes getting out really unpleasant. We wandered back across the deck. And decided to get lunch at Fish and Chips on the pool deck. I had fried shrimp and chips, and Suze had a fish sandwich, and both were hot and tasty. We showered and changed. Then went for a drink in the Ale and Anchor. Suze had found a couple of cool little cruise ducks along the way. I had an old-fashioned, and Suze had an Amalfi Coast. And I've got to say, Royal don't skimp on the bourbon. I washed this down with a Newcastle Brown, as some strange port regulation only allowed draft beer. We went out on prom deck, where the wind and the seas were really getting up, as we were catching the tail of a storm coming up from the Atlantic. We went to Playmakers and got a couple of margaritas. Then I switched to lager, and we watched some sport on the TV. We decided to have dinner here. Food is priced a la carte, and we ordered some really tasty Parmesan fries, $12 barbecue wings, and a tower of onion rings, which made for a really tasty dinner. Then we put our cases outside our door and got an early night. Although we were kept up a lot of the nights by the storm. The ship actually rode the waves really well and was quite comfy, but there was a lot of noise from waves crashing against the side of the ship, down here on deck 2. Next morning, we awoke to much nicer weather in Southampton. We had a look on TV at the disembarkation info, although an announcement told us that one of the gangways was having issues, so there would be delays. We had a last quick look around our comfy cabin. Then caught an elevator up, and had a last wander through the ship. And after a little confusion, we were heading for the gangway and off the ship. Then back into the terminal, where we collected our cases, headed outside, and found the taxi line, and took a last look back at the ship, before getting dropped off at West Quay Multi-Story. There's a new app payment system here, and prices have doubled since we last parked here. And we won't be parking here in future. There's plenty of other better value options. However, this had been a really good fun cruise, and we loved Independence of the Seas, much more than we expected to, and will definitely book with Royal again. Thanks for watching.